AITA for no longer letting my ex's mother see our kids unsupervised. So, I, 31F, and my ex, 31M, have been divorced for almost 3 years now. We had been living with his mother, 57F, when we got married, and about a year later I gave birth to our twin boys, 5M. As far as I knew, our plan was to stay with his mother until we could afford to get our first home. Things were okay at first, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. My MIL seemed hell-bent on making me uncomfortable. She was constantly using me as her emotional punching bag. She would criticize my looks, telling me I had let myself go and calling me fat weeks after giving birth to my sons. She would complain about the way I cleaned the house, and she would tell me how bad I was as a mother and constantly compare herself to me. I had told my husband so many times about this, and he even witnessed some of the comments. He did nothing. When I had finally had enough, I told my husband I was going to be looking for an apartment for us. At first, he was on board with the idea. He even sent me links to look at, but when we had finally picked out a place that was about 20 minutes away, suddenly he had cold feet about moving. I tried to hear him out, I really did, but he wasn't really making sense. He started rambling about how that was too far away from his mother and that she needed him closer. I suggested one of the closer apartments, but he insisted that he needs to be here to keep an eye on her. We argued for hours about this, and in the end, I told him flatly that I was not going to be staying here any longer, and that the boys and I would be moving with or without him. About a week later I had moved me and our boys into the new apartment. After waiting 6 months for him to come around and move in too, I filed for divorce. I was sick of waiting for him to grow up. In all that time, he saw the boys maybe 3 times. I had tried to facilitate visits, offered to pack the boys an overnight to stay there, but he insisted he was too busy to watch them. After the divorce was settled, I managed to build a co-parenting relationship, not with my ex, with his mother. I think she realized that I wasn't going to take her crap anymore and now had the means to keep the children away from her. In some ways we were able to rebuild a relationship for the sake of the boys. That was until yesterday. Yesterday, a family member from my ex's family contacted me. She wanted to check in with me and asked if everything was alright with me. Confused, I asked her why I wouldn't be. According to her, my ex's mother has been spreading rumors she has been the one paying for my apartment because I apparently can't afford my rent on my own, and that the only reason she is willing to help me financially is for the boys. I cut the call shortly after that and was fuming. I immediately called my ex's mother and demanded an explanation for what I had just been told. She was defensive instantly and demanded to know who would tell me such a thing. I refused to tell her as that wasn't the important part. I told her that spreading false information like that was not only hurtful but just disrespectful. I had never taken anything from her. I let her see the boys whenever she wants. I was always respectful and diplomatic, but she had gone too far. I told her that she was no longer allowed to take the boys alone, and if she wanted to see them, I would happily arrange a supervised visit. I said that I could no longer trust her. If this is what she says behind my back to strangers, what is she saying to my kids? She called me all sorts of names and hung up. Since then, more family members have been reaching out, even my ex, to tell me that Mael didn't mean to upset me and that I am overreacting to a little white lie. AITA